Today we're going to be taking a dive into something that is rather disgusting and, well, it may even make me spit out my tea. But this is something that is a big problem on YouTube and, well, just online in general. We are going to be looking at a certain creator that has a tendency to manipulate others for their own personal satisfaction. And that satisfaction is rather selfish and also illegal. So once again, grab yourself a beverage and let's get down to business. Our suspect today is Loki. No, not Thor's adopted brother, but a channel with over 170,000 subscribers. His content is, well, let's just say I'd rather watch SS Sniper Wolf. But I don't really care much about his content, it's not something that's important. It's the person behind the content that is our main focus, and that person is someone that shouldn't be allowed such a platform. The things that this 16-year-old boy has done can't be excused by a simple boys will be boys attitude. He needs to be held accountable for his actions because what they represent is a much more serious issue long term. Ignoring this won't make it go away, but more or less make it worse. So, who is Loki? Loki's real name is Davis, and he's known to many popular creators with the likes of I'm Alex, iNabba, and even Pyrocynical. The unfortunate thing for Loki is that he's not known for all of the right reasons. In fact, in such a small amount of time, he was able to make himself the laughingstock of the YouTube commentary community. My buddies Dan and Jonathan go more in depth than what I will about the other things he's done, so once this video's over, go check out their videos too. In short, he's been called out for scamming people by not paying them or charging them back. He's been called out for begging for money and then not honoring his repayment. And he's also been called out for dropping people's private information just cause he can. He's a wonderful chap, isn't he? However, out of all of these things, none are comparable to what he does when he's given an ounce of power. The power I speak of is his relationship with larger creators and the trust they put in him as their friend. Because he made friendships with some of these other creators, they gave him a platform to stand on. They made him moderator in their Discord servers. They featured him in tweets, you name it. Any sort of attention he received gave him that extra bit of relevance in their communities. Given Loki's past, it would be safe to assume that such a position of power over the average follower would eventually be used for his own self-interest. After scamming so many people, deceiving them, his response to being given power would be to abuse it. And abuse it he did, but it's how he did that is truly disgusting. YouTubers have fans. They have people that avidly watch what they make and support everything they do. Fans will usually follow the YouTuber on whatever platform they use and continue to interact with them publicly. However, there are also fans that go one step further and stan this creator. Stans become so attached to a creator that everything they do is for that creator. They crave the attention from them or to know things about them. One creator that has a very strong stan base goes by the name of Benji, and it's his audience that will be a main focus in this video. Benji is still very young, and it's very easy for a person that has such a large online following at his age to be naive about the motives of certain people. He's at that age where he wants to be everyone's friend, to be accepting of everyone. However, he was the victim of broken trust, deceived by someone he called a friend, and after this whole experience, I'm sure that it's shown him the true nature of people and their response to power. Because of Benji's age and the nature of his content, it's not surprising that he has a much younger audience. There's probably a core age range of 12 through to 15 or 16 that watch his videos and follow him online. That's a whole lot of naivety focused on one person, and that spells trouble when that naivety can be manipulated by someone with an intent on abusing this mentality. So how is Benji related to Loki? Well, in March of last year, Benji released a very detailed tweet longer outlining the relationship he had with Davis. He starts off by explaining that he had met him in the later months of 2017 through Discord. Through hours and hours of conversing, they became friends, and with that, Benji awarded them the highest role in his server. The end of 2017 was very good for Benji. His channel growth exploded, bringing in thousands of new subscribers. His content consisted of reaction commentary, thus being a figurehead for what would be one of the most successful genres of 2018. The attention this content received, for what it is truly astonishing. And it wasn't long for Benji to start having a consistent and dedicated fanbase. But with this, the complications of online stardom began to develop. Back to his tweet longer, Benji described that a downfall soon occurred. The power Loki was given began to be abused. From kicking people, banning them, or harassing them, he became the dictator of Benji's Discord server. This irritated Benji, so he confronted Loki directly. But the weasel that Loki is slammed his way out of any real repercussions, getting away with just a little slap on the wrist. However, it would only be a matter of time for his true intentions, for his true nature, to be revealed. As we've discussed the nature of Benji's online following, we can understand how it would be so easy to manipulate a young demographic of people. To them, Benji is a star. They've grown up seeing that YouTubers are now somewhat mainstream. They're a notable figure in modern media. So with that, these younger fans see these YouTubers as some form of celebrity. Whereas you and I know, we're just a bunch of losers making videos for free on a monetized platform. Because YouTubers are usually closer to the community than that of mainstream celebrities, that leaves a discrepancy in the security of their trust, especially since it's mostly all online. This is how low-key manipulated Benji. He breached his trust, got a little bit cozy, and abused the power he had received. We know that he abused his Discord powers, but that doesn't compare to how he abused his relationship with Benji.
Subsequent to Loki unrightfully banning people from my server, I had also been informed he had been leaking my face and promising viewers for me to follow them if they ever sent him nudes. Now, of course, I would never agree to such a revolting claim. All of these girls were between the age of 13 to 16 years of age, and I found it absolutely sickening, as I would never ever agree to such a statement, and I banned him from my Discord server.
This is an issue. It happens far too frequently on YouTube, with the amount of pedophiles and predators that have been exposed. Nobody seems to take it seriously. We can out the pedophiles, slam the predators, but we don't really do anything about it. Loki predated on young girls that just wanted the attention of their favorite YouTuber. He used the power that he had to manipulate young, naive girls into sending him nudes. The possession of these nudes is possession of child pornography. That is illegal. Any possession of lewd imagery from a person under the age of 18 is considered as possessing child pornography, and it is punishable with jail time as well as heavy fines. This is actually very serious. The easiest defense he has against these claims is that he never actually received the nudes from the young girls. This is something we can't prove because we don't have the physical evidence. As well as that, there's also the issue that the people who are his victims want to protect their identity and keep their anonymity. Trying to reach out to these people is very difficult, and it's like there's some sort of gag order on this whole situation. It's all very hush hush, I don't want to be sued. It's like they're threatened by what he may possibly do. The only problem with this defense, however, is that there is so much substantial evidence indicating the manipulative tendencies of Loki that it's impossible for a simple rebuttal without any clear-cut evidence proving otherwise. Likewise, we can't just openly accuse him of possessing child pornography. That would be slander, and we all know what that means.
I googled his name, and it turns out he is a registered sex offender.
We can raise concerns, however, that this may be the case, and justify our claims with evidence indicating his intent on receiving nude imagery from young girls. In fact, let's just look at him in action trying to possess lewd images and examine how he does it. Take these screenshots of him trying to get bra pics from a girl who was 13 years old at the time of the incident. She confronted him because he blocked her for not sending him what he wanted. Notice how he doesn't take no for an answer. He's constantly on the offensive for this picture of a young girl in a bra, on an offensive for a lewd image. The last screenshot shows the cynical manipulation used by Loki for what he wants. I'm blocking you everywhere, last chance, it's simple and fast. A threat intended to play on this girl's emotions. It's obvious that she thought he was a nice guy, her naivety in full display. However, for her age, she showed rather rational thinking and wasn't going to let herself be bullied into pleasuring him. His response to being told no for the last time was a very salty one at that. Well, see ya. Good luck on being friend with big people. I guess sucking on the balls of big YouTubers had really adverse effects on Loki. It's clear that Loki likes to use his relationships with larger creators as a bargaining chip in his quest for FAP material. As mentioned in Benji's testimony, he was informed that Loki was using him as a reward for nudes. Be it leaking his face or getting Benji to follow them, he used Benji's status to procure nudes from girls as young as 13. So not only did he use and abuse Benji, he abused the innocence of children for some sick sexual fantasy. What he shows is a lack of empathy, a lack of any morality whatsoever. This is something that is becoming ever present with the direction of online interaction. He doesn't care whether or not the young girls get what they want. He doesn't care about their security. He also doesn't care about the feelings of Benji and respect the trust that he placed in him. His actions are selfish and what he's doing is concerning. From what Benji has told us and what others has said, it's clear that he's done this more than once. In fact, he's continued to do it to this day. His manipulative tendencies and the demographic he targets shows clear signs of predation. He likes to use the little amount of clout he has to bribe girls into sending him what he wants. It's not like he actually cares about them, but more or less sees them as an object he can get pleasure from. The predatory nature of his actions raises the question of, what is he capable of? With his current platform, he could potentially blow up and become a much larger YouTuber with his own legion of stans, even though his content is absolute dogshit.
Then you are in for a treat. You guys know the girl named Lauren Gray? I think I didn't even say it right.
But with his own platform, he doesn't need to use someone else's clout because his numbers will attract naive minds. With what I've seen and what I've shown you, it's scary to think what he will do with that power. However, I was lucky enough to talk to some of the people he's used as his online entourage. There's more to his actions than trying to get nudes from other people's underage fans. There's one trend with Loki, and that's his sexual objectification of girls. He will abuse his power to get what he wants, and one girl named Hannah, who has put up with him for over the last year, has decided it's time for her experiences with him to be shared.
If you did not know, I knew Loki for nearly a year and a half. I've had my own experiences with him. But let's start in the beginning. Before his full YouTube career, when he had a small Discord server. I met him through a mutual friend who was 14 at the time. She told me about Loki, explaining that he was 17 and giving her a photo of him. She was really into him. However, to our realization, the photo wasn't even him and his age was faked. She even told me he asked for special photos even knowing she was a minor. Regardless of that fact he wasn't 17, it still breached the common law. I told her this at the time, and to my knowledge, she did not send anything sexual to him. But this is the point where him and I begin to associate, and this is where my own experiences come in play. To start off, yes, he asked for my nudes multiple times, with people in the call or just in my DMs. He always did try to ask for nudes from me and my former friends. I did not send anything to lay any doubts to rest. He asked for nudes with another guy in the call and told the other guy to leave, and when he did, he begged for me to send special photos of me to his Snap. He even went as far as giving me his phone number. He wanted me to VC, show my boobs, and moan for him. Moan to get him off. But I said no, that I'm going to take a shower. And he said he wanted to see me in the shower. I was shocked he even dared to ask. But after that incident, he acted like it never happened. There was even a time he made me promise him at VidCon of 2019 he would be able to sign his name on my bare ass. My bare ass. To make sure I would follow through, we VC'd and booked a hotel, with the help of another girl that was meant to be there with me, a room. I noticed this was a common occurrence with him, and it's a scam he pulls on girls I know personally. I was told about him using other YouTubers for their followers. I was told by one, he did this by collaborating with them, and only making a single video on their channels and not his. To say more, he did ask for money via PayPal. The money he promised to pay later. I didn't pay him because I knew the reputation he had for asking money, either never paying back or just doxing. I can't say he scammed me, but asking for money was a really suspicious thing. To say that isn't the worst thing he's done. No one has talked about, but there's one thing he has done that honestly scares me every time I think about it. There was a photo on his first server I met him in, where a girl cut his name, Loki, into her arm. It was a young girl, and I know he asked for it, and to my realization, he really liked that photo. But it's gone, for good and worse reasons. But if you do dig hard enough, I'm sure you'll find it. And when you do, I'll warn you, it's really graphic. But if you also look deep enough, you can also find his dick pic. To end this note, I don't hate Loki. I don't hate people in general. I can't say he deserves the worst, But he does need to learn what he's doing is inappropriate, wrong in so many levels, and has to bear the consequences of his actions.
It's clear that one thing needs to be done. He needs to be stopped. His platform needs to be removed from him, and he needs to be subjected to some form of consequence. He needs to face an ultimatum, otherwise it will just continue to happen, and it will become a lot worse than it currently is. A slap on the wrist is not good enough, because what good is it if he can just lie and manipulate his way out of it? No means no, and he needs to learn that the hard way. As well, there are people that continue to platform him, people that give him validity. These people are just as dangerous as he is, because he's just using them as a tool for attention, a way of growing his own relevance. These people need to question their relationship with him, as he's just not trustworthy to have faith in, let alone be associated with. Allowing him to continue what he's doing is not going to help him, nor will it help their image in the long run. His actions need consequence, and these people need to make the choice to not just help him, but protect those he means harm to. This is not a trivial issue. This is serious, it's criminal, and it's also a plague we are facing, which is only going to get worse if we don't put an end to it. Action needs to be taken, and the people who have been affected by Loki need to speak up about it. There's no point hiding in the shadows, because he will continue to do it. If this goes unchanged, who knows what he will do when he's older. Loki is an isolated incident that is a part of an issue that is ever present within YouTube and online communities. It's best to make an example of someone, to spread the message that we will not tolerate this behavior, and you will face consequences if you continue to act in such manner. Loki is quite close to home, as I know most parties involved in his despicable crusade for self-pleasure, which made it a lot more motivating to make a video on a topic like this. If you come across him, stay away. Stay away until he learns his lesson. Alright, since the last time we met I was around 10,000 subscribers, and thanks to Miss Pro Censorship, we've managed to hit nearly 40,000 subscribers. I'd like to thank you all for the support on the last video. It feels amazing to know that you all enjoyed it. From now on, I'm going to delve into more topical commentary on certain YouTubers and things that have happened within the community. If you have any ideas of what I should look into next, leave suggestions down below in the comments. I'd also like to plug my Twitter and my Discord, all links are below. I'm very active there if you want to interact, so be sure to check them out. So, thank you for watching, keep respecting the hustle, and as always, go dox yourself.
Gonna rise like a champion when your cloud goes down.